name. We'll go with members first, paid members who are with us in what we call VGC, which is Virtual Global Coaching. You guys will get 1 minute to share who you are, your best ideal referral, or what you're looking for right now that we can provide. And if as you shared, so yes, Bhakti, I'll have you go first since you already shared. As you speak, then share your information in the chat, because then it'll be easier to remember who's who and what's what. And if you can even add what your ask is, what you're looking for, that would be super awesome as well. Bhakti, and I will be having a timer just out of respect of time for equality for everyone. And whenever you start talking, Bhakti, I'll start the timer.
Okay, I'm Bhakti. I'm an Ashaya monk with the Bright Path, which is the path of joy. Bright Path offers a series of very ancient, profoundly effective, yet simple techniques based on praise, gratitude, love, and compassion. These purely mechanical practice has no belief. Therefore, it's not going to interfere with anyone's spirituality or religion. Ascension essentially dissolves the root stresses in modern day life so we can experience more and more of who we truly are in each moment. I had been meditating for over 40 years now, and the first 20 was using a variety of other practices. And I ended up as president and CEO of a Minneapolis-based national company, able to go anywhere, do anything I want, anytime I felt like it. But I just knew there had to be more to life than what I was experiencing. And then I ran into Ascension. And my ask today is for those that are looking for, that know that there's more to life than what they're experiencing. I'm Bhakti, an Ashaya monk with the Bright Path.
Awesome, wonderful. Now I'm just looking at the gallery view here. Thank you, Bhakti. Mary, you are next.
All right, good morning, everybody. I am Mary Levine with Juice Plus. I'm the produce lady. Juice Plus is all about, it's the simplest, most affordable and convenient way to get massive amounts of nutrition into busy people's bodies. A great ask for today would be not just for busy people, but for people who are high risk with the pandemic or are very worried and stressed out about that. You got to build up your immune system, and then that gives you a lot of peace of mind. My tip for the day, especially for people in where it's lots of fires, Lois, is drinking a ton of water. That really flushes things out, all the stuff that we're breathing in right now. So half of your body weight in ounces at least every day. Drink like your life depends on it. Water. Mary Levine with Juice Plus.
That was perfect. You were spot on. So when you hear that little beautiful bell, I try to pick a good one. That means your time is up. So go ahead and share your information, anything you want in the chat. Sailesh, we'll have you go, and then Deepak and myself, and then the visitors. Oh, Alice is here. So Alice will get to be in as well. So Sailesh, are you able to share?
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever part of the world you are. I'm Sailesh from Hyderabad, a beautiful city, and from India. I've been associated with one of the platform. It's a social lifestyle platform, and it's also an e-commerce platform where I'm associated with. It gives wonderful opportunity for trainers and coaches, and I'm also a financial advisor. If anybody are interested in investing with guaranteed returns, you can also try to take my advice in financial advising, so that I'll just guide you where exactly you need to invest. And my ask for the day is, I just want somebody, trainers, coaches, and others who want to get associated with this wonderful platform which I'm working for. Signing off, Sailesh.
Wow, that was perfect. You had 6 seconds to spare. So again, don't forget to share your contact information, your website, your, WhatsApp ID, whatever you would like. And then Alice, you joined us, so you're a paid member of VGC. So I'd like for you to go next. You have your minute of fame, your commercial, whatever you'd like to share today.
Well, thank you very much, Lois. Good day, Alice Palin with AMP Business Coaching. A couple of the key traits I bring to my clients are, one, a combination of coaching and consulting, depending on what they actually need. It's not a cookie cutter approach. It's custom tailored to what they're looking for. Could be I've got a client right now who's expanding, so we're doing the business plan that pertains to that. I've also had clients that are just starting from scratch, and then we do, the plan that works for that. Right now, I'm really working with people to help find their path through the chaos of what's going on in their world and business right now. Always looking at that blend as well of business and life, because you can't have a plan for your business that ignores whatever's going on in your life. And that includes helping them get everything organized for their business and social media. I will put my contact info in the chat. What I'm really looking for is those other business owners in that same spot. They've got so much going on, they can't find that path through the chaos, and we'll get there.
Awesome, awesome. Deepak, do you mind going next? I'd like to honor you to have an opportunity to share as well. We don't always get to do that. I want to make sure we get to do that today.
Thanks so much, Louis. And this is Deepak here. Me along with Louis are the co-founders of Entrepreneurs International. Among the many things that I do, I also run a course called as Speakology, which last week I trademarked and getting it registered as a brand name. So I'm planning to create franchisees across India, Africa, across. These are main places where people want to have 4 categories of speaking: children, teenagers, adults, maestros. So I'm trying to create a swarm of trainers in this particular platform. This is one of the things, one of the branches that I do. Apart from that, with the wonderful Louis, we run the Entrepreneurs International. I'm also a keynote speaker as well as a leadership trainer. And so that is a few of the facets that I'm getting into. Thank you so much, Louis.
Awesome, awesome. I hope I didn't miss any other members. Please keep me honest. I'll go next, and then our visitors. And I know a lot of these visitors came because of you, Deepak, so I might even have you introduce them if that's okay. So really quickly, my name is Lois Kofi. I most recently am excited about my podcast and my courses and my content creation. I am a sales success coach. And one of the ways I decided to build an audience because of this pandemic and being stuck at home with my kids and my family all the time was to launch a podcast. And I recently did a pop-up podcast course. I had over 100 people on it, and they all gave me great feedback. So I'm actually doing a 3-hour advanced course. And the idea behind it is how to build a list, how to build content creation, how to follow up. The fortune in sales and in life is all about relationships and following up and knowing how to nurture those leads through email marketing and valuable value that you give over and over again. So they want to fall in love with you. They want to be your affiliate. They want to be your referral partner. They want to buy your stuff. So that's Saturday, September 26th. If you know people in that category of sales and wanting to increase content creation and list building, that would be a great referral for me. Let's go through visitors now. Deepak, do you mind? Because I don't want to say someone's name wrong.
Yeah, Gopal, you can begin off.
Hi, hello everybody. Jai Shri Krishna. I'm Gopal from Hyderabad city. I'm a jewelry designer. Basically, I'm a goldsmith. So I'm into this jewelry field, and I like doing something new, creativity and innovating ideas to make some new concept designer jewelry in this field. And I'm very fond of making something new in jewelry designing and making manufacturing. I have my own manufacturing setup here in Hyderabad. I take orders. Now I'm into process of upgrading into advanced technology, something laser machines and all, so that I can come with some new workmanship. And I'm also a gemologist. I did my gemology. I'm an enameling, planning to go start my enameling workshop. Might be after October. And still saying for more to do something new creativity and meeting new people I like and to show my work. And I'm very happy and thankful to Deepak ji that I'm I came into this circle, Entrepreneur International. I'm very glad to be meet you all, everybody here. I like to attend this meeting every Thursday. I'm very happy. Thank you, Deepak ji.
Thank you. Edwin and Rajesh combined. Edwin, right?
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Deepak. Sorry, I still didn't on my camera now, but then Edwin King here, I'm connecting from Ghana, and yes, I am the national coordinator for Bridge IT Training. We are an IT training organization for some time now in Ghana. We have been more focused in the rural areas of Ghana, the deprived areas of Ghana, where we have been trying to give them the best of IT education. And we have a new project now with a spoken tutorial that is from IIT Bombay, one of the biggest projects we are running now, the first time in Africa, the first time in Ghana. And I love to attend webinars from Deepak, and that is why I'm here again. And yes, I'm here with my colleague, Rajesh Dev. So Rajesh, hand over to you now.
I think it will be a time which will be growing at, but yes, we are combined as a team. So I'm looking out for the marketing, and most of the technical things are being looked after the team. Thank you.
So Deepak and Luis, we would love to find out more about the paid modality so that we can work on that also. I'm sure we're going to get the details after the program. Deepak and Luis.
Yes. Luis will run it, yes.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Thank you so much, Luis Coffee.
Absolutely. Rajesh, you want to finish off what you said, or you're done, right, Rajesh?
See, it's more or less, we are combined. So, we are working together on that. So it's
Good.
just, they would like to have an experience today, on this. So this is my first experience. Let's see how it goes.
Thank you. Ghana is growing, Ghana is going to explode, Africa. Yes, Neha. Good to see you, Neha.
Welcome back.
Hello everyone. Hello, hi Louis, hi Deepak. Good to meet everyone and be here once again on first and third Thursdays. Thank you Deepak and Louis for organizing this. Quite interested, Louis, to get enrolled for your program. Just grappling with a little bit of time issues and concerns, but very interested. Yes, I am. Starting with my introduction, I own a brand communication, integrated marketing communication organization here. We advise clients, overseas clients, to enter Indian markets, and vice versa. We help Indian clients to establish themselves in any of the overseas market. Good reference for me would be, I'm looking to set up my offices in different countries, especially in US, South Africa, Dubai, Japan, and Singapore, and London as well. Already in middle of talks with a couple of people. So, that is what we are looking to scale up our office expansion. We're doing very well as a team. We have our office and team working here. And we love to advise and mentor brands or individuals who are struggling with any of their branding, marketing, communication needs. I'm around as a mentor, as an advisor, paid, unpaid, anyway, but happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neha. Also, a small testimonial to Neha. 3 years ago, she did help for 4 months, bring my brand up, boost me up, through the roof. Thank you. So we go on to Shashidharan and Mr. Behra. You want to add? He's from a beautiful city called Bhubaneswar, Mr. Behra.
Yes, my name is Gandharva Behra, G. Behra I say. I am a retired scientist from ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Now I am full-time offering. I'm part of Heartfulness Institute. We offer heartfulness meditation practice. We meditate on the heart, and it has 3 components. One is the meditation, relaxation, and rejuvenation, stress busting. Because nowadays, a lot of people, because of the style of living, accumulate stress. So we advise them to practice some 20 minutes exercise that would de-stress them, and meditation connects them to their heart, to the divine, and this is what heartfulness offers everyone globally, irrespective of nationality, caste, creed, sex, gender, all that, free of cost. There is no price for paying. Nothing, no subscription, no payment required. One can learn these simple techniques and have a very happy and contented life.
Thank you.
Awesome.
This is
Thank you
what
so much. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We were got to keep going because we do have a
Yes,
program.
yes.
We have one more person. Yeah.
Shashidharan, I think he's stuck. His screen is stuck. Okay, if he comes back, we will continue. Yes, Lewis. So then I'm just going to share screen. So welcome each one of you. And Lewis, you want to take it up? You can take it up.
No, I was actually just going to say, don't forget to share your contact info. I didn't see everyone sharing their contact information. I think it's best if you start. You know some of these initial slides better than me. I'll come when I'm cued.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And this is the four-pronged strategy that we run as part of Entrepreneurs International. We do VGC, which is what we are going to display today. We have speed networking, which we do once in a month, the first Thursday. And then we have personal brand coaching, as well as creating true EI champions and ambassadors around us. So what we're trying to run today is the virtual global coaching, a small session on what we introduced ourselves before we go on to give a short demo of the kind of coaching that you can get. So we're the co-founders, myself and Lewis from California. She's a speaker, author, a 12-year trainer, and a podcaster with huge experience around her. And the podcast is something really amazing, something all of you should listen to. And I'm an author, founder, speaker with leadership experience around me, creator of Healify and Speakology. So this is the podcast of Lewis, which is Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. And it's a lot of inspiration and wisdom around it. I've written a book called The Joyful Quotient, which was a bestseller in 2019, and also a master speakology trainer in Udemy. So why do we need a coach, and what is the need for virtual global coaching? So I thought we'll give two different stories. One is my own personal story. This is me, the smaller boy, along with my elder brother. He's now in China. And I was born as a very shy, full of doubt, a very silent and very confused personality. And this is how I was for a large period of my life. And it's only recently that I've broken out of the shackles through a lot of coaching, a lot of trainings that I have undergone. And it's necessary that one goes through this experiences to ensure that one comes out afresh. I also went through a beautiful flood in Chennai in 2015. City in India, where the whole house went underwater. It actually sounds difficult to believe, but now I have a smile on my face because I know what it's all about. I've been through it, and the flood was so kind that they thought of hitting me again in 2018. Only this time I was quite prepared, and this is the importance of adversity. Something that we train people on is how can we really handle adversity in our lives. In the last 8 months, we've all been going through some adversity or other, whatever industry, whatever field, whatever person you are. It was a little unusual in the last 8 months. Even if people in the IT field who say that they have no change in their life in terms of programming, etc., there is a sense of I would say uncomfortableness that has happened in the last many months, and how have we handled it, and how have we really overcome it, and how can we use it as a greater strength. And this is possible only when you have a clutch of coaches around you who can really help you make an impact. The coaches can be from within, can be from without. Lewis Coffey, her story. So in 2006, 2008, she went down, especially in the US recession, and she really had to, work. She really had to, struggle and rise from the ashes. And it's in the last 10 or 12 years that she's come back, from the ashes into, bouncing back, moving from Minnesota to California, and various other moves that she's done with a beautiful family. And again, this is due to the immense coaching that she's got. She's also been a BNI director, as well as various other coachings that she's been part of. So there's a need to have a family around you, and a family of, trusted people who, who are also called as the masterminds, using the language of Earl Nightingale. And, in the particular book, he's mentioned, there's a mastermind theory. You need to have that set of masterminds around you who work with you as a family and ensure you can really come out of whatever your, whatever crisis is, and come out, not just come out, but really come out a winner. So that was, Lewis' story. And so it's time to pivot. If you look at the corner of the slide, it's time to really pivot, make a change in, what you are doing, and the way we are dealing with our lives in whatever manner. So the 3 goals and outcomes, we've all finished our 45-second intro. And we're going to give a short experience of coaching, as well as give an offer, just like Edwin mentioned, about how you can be part of the family. So you've already finished a very short introduction, and we're going to begin with the next 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, a very short bite into what really can be the secrets of your success. How can you really be successful around you? So normally I begin with this. I'll not spend too much time, but if there's time, I kind of request people to list down various activities that they do in the first hour after they wake up. And it's a very introspective activity, because many times we end up doing a lot of action around us, not realizing that there are 2 lawyers in our heads, the yes lawyer and the no lawyer. And while we all want the yes lawyer to win, many times the no lawyer wins. So the yes lawyer and the no lawyer, and these are in your head, and we all want the yes lawyer to win. But it's not necessary that the yes lawyer wins every time. The no lawyer keeps winning. And that's because of the way we connect to our inner being. Are we able to really handle situations in a way which is more intrinsic and which is more internal? And the one that wins is the one you feed. So it's only when you really feed the negativity in you does that particular negative lawyer go on winning, giving the analogy of the lawyer and the court. So the one you feed is the one, who really wins. And the first 1 hour in the morning, normally when you wake up, one of the tricks, that is there, it can win only if the energies really go inward. If the energies go inward, there's minimal outside contact, and also some level of silence. So if you really practice this, 3 techniques, triplets, you win the day. The day is won for you, and you can go ahead in a much more energetic manner. And if you do not, then you're already at a losing edge. So there are a lot of things that matter and things that you can control. What you should really focus on is a combination of things that matter and which we can control. And this is a very common, it's a common image on the internet, which I've adapted to just changing the word of things to what are the real problems that matter to you, and what are the problems that you can control. And the same rule applies. You really need to focus on only that small bit of arc, which is a combination of things that matter and things that you can really control. And 80-90% of our lives, we try to focus on things that we cannot control, or things that don't concern us or don't matter to us. And that's where a lot of time management goes off the calendar. So some of the problems that, how we have done, and Lewis speaks about how to repivot or how to pivot and redefine. So it's necessary for pivoting to redefine various problems. So in the banking industry, and Sashidharan is part of the banking industry, he is head of a bank for many years. So rising inflation is really not a problem. Our real problem is our inability to handle it is a real problem. Second example, in sales, you normally get this, and I get it a lot when I meet a lot of people even in my business coaching. Sales is not happening, not in a footfall, in case of a actual shop, or no clients, or even this, the pandemic, etc. Is it your problem? Actually, it's not. It's somebody else's problem. The real problem is our inability to create the real strategy and the right strategy. That's the real problem. So we are actually moving from the external to the internal, from the outside to the inside. Instead of complaining about things that happen outside us, we're trying to focus and rectify the things that can happen within us. And that leads us to this triangle, the David Meister triangle, famous one: circle of control, circle of influence, and circle of concern. What are we really focusing on? Is it concern? Is it influence? Or is it control? And it's only when we understand what to focus on do we know what we can reduce, what we can increase, and what we can regain. Are we able to regain the control on our lives? It can only happen when we reduce the concern of things that don't concern us, or things which are external to us, and try to increase and let go of anything that we can influence. Sort of, what do we start doing? What do we stop doing? What can we continue to do? And what can we change in our lives? So these are the four key questions that come out from this particular circle that is there. The crisis is a combination of danger and opportunity. So if you look at the ancient texts, crisis means YG, and danger is Vaiksian, and opportunity is Jihui. And strangely, the ancients knew it well, that there seems to be a combination of the first three letters of both the words. And if you combine both, it actually becomes a combination of danger and opportunity. So crisis can be an opportunity. It all depends on how we take it and how we can influence people around us. There's a need to rotate around our pivot. And can we rotate around it? Can we identify superpowers and super hammers within us, which can help us rotate around the pivot and come out afresh in a different manner? And there's a need to identify these in our lives, our strengths, our key capabilities that we have within us. This is the time to do it. A good time to sit back, relax, and try to look at it, because this is going to be the foundation for everything that we do ahead in our lives. So superpower, somebody gave this the beautiful definition, it's a DNA, it's a direct and natural ability. So what are our direct and natural abilities? And each person is different. Edwin's is different from Neha's, is different from Sailesh, is different from mine. Each of us have just like the DNA in our body is different, our abilities and superpowers also are different. And the trick is, or the challenge is to identify it. Just like the challenge is to identify what's the DNA of your body, you really need to introspect series of questions and coaching required to ensure that you get to your superpower and your DNA as we call it, direct and natural ability. So there's a changing mindset, moving from what can I get, how can we close. It's really moving to what can I give, and how can I really help people around me. And this is one of the key questions which can really pivot ourselves, change the way we look at things, because it focuses on strengths and not on weaknesses. It focuses on opportunities and not on crisis. It focuses on the positives and not on the negatives. So that's the mindset that we have. This is one of the flagship models that we run. It's called as Ikigai. A focus on things that you love, things that you're good at, a combination actually of things that you love, things that you're good at, what the world needs. What are the real needs of the world which trigger you, and what you can be paid for? And the payment can be in terms of gratitude, can be in terms of satisfaction. For example, I take the example of Bhakti, who's there on the call. So, or even Mr. Behera. the kind of payment that they get is in terms of the satisfaction of giving the information or of helping people, helping what the world needs, but they're still doing what they love, what they're good at, and they know what the world needs. And the payment can be in terms of gratitude, it can be in terms of that satisfaction in the Maslow's hierarchy. So Ikigai really is a reason for being, the reason to jump out of bed every morning. So do you really need assistance and support to get to your Ikigai? Some of the questions that we can ask. Beautiful movie I'd seen many years ago, Good Will Hunting. Not sure if it's a very famous movie. Some of you could have seen it. And the person on the left is a janitor in some university in the US and a wizard at mathematics. Of course, the story is amazing and it's got a totally different story. But at the end, if you notice, there's a dialogue by this particular person who's a janitor saying that it's great. I know I'm good at it. I'm good at doing it, but I don't really love doing it. It's very significant that everything starts with love. Everything starts with love. And he was very good. He was a wizard at mathematics, and the professor told him, "You can be one of the best, people in the whole of US or Europe or whatever. I can make you real famous." But he said, "I really don't love it. I know I'm good at it, but I don't love what I'm doing." And of course, he exits out, with his girlfriend and runs away. So key learning, a lot of learnings in this particular movie, and that's why it's won a few Oscars and also some good acting around you. Can you identify some subconscious habits, which can really move you to a stronger tomorrow? What are the key habits that we have within us, which are holding us back, which are holding us down? And if we can identify, resolve, and move it, can it move us to a much, much more stronger tomorrow? Some of the questions, that I'm just trying to throw out a series of questions, and you can catch up whichever touches you today, and see, which makes sense to you. So there's this game called as a mind game. It's run by a person called Ichak Adizes, based out of Santa Barbara. Is, want, should. What is it that you really are? We always begin with is. And then we move on to what should you really be? And what do you want to be? And it's only this triangle of is, want, should, which if it is combined together, it creates something which is called as mine. This is mine. I am what I should be and want to be. There is no confusion or non-clarity in is, want, and should in that case. And of course, the gap keeps widening, especially when the desires increase, and is, want, should keeps going up and up around again. So I'm going to hand it over to Louis for the next few minutes, who's an expert in the 12-week year as well as in goal setting, time management, and a podcaster. Louis, are you there?
Sir, awesome, really good foundational stuff. So we've kind of covered some of this. Part of my journey, like Deepak shared with you, is I was radically transformed and traumatized when I lost everything during the recession, was homeless, feared a lot of judgment, had a lot of negative, I was feeding the negative wolf in my head at the time because I was just so beside myself and I had to start all over. So I created a bunch of tools that I now coach with. One of those is right here next to me on my clipboard, my handy dandy clipboard that I don't leave home without, and just writing down that vision every day. So go ahead and hit the next, I won't stay long on this slide because some of this is just a reiteration. There we go. So just like Deepak was saying, yeah, put them all up there. I pretty much had to start all over before I got out of bed, before I grabbed my phone, just meditate and have that attitude of gratitude. So checking in with yourself every day, no matter what is going on, and there's always something, right? And besides COVID, we all have other things that are trying to distract us. And by being able to ask myself, even throughout the day, like I even set alarms on my phone for a while. Like I had one at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 7 p.m., literally going off every day and checking in with myself too, just because I really wanted to, you know, continue the path of gratitude throughout the day, the gratitude, joy, and authenticity. So I had like little affirmations that I put on the alarms and throughout the day asking myself, how am I showing up? Because it could be for me, and I don't know about for you guys, but I'd have someone say something that really pissed me off, for lack of a better term, and it would trigger some kind of subconscious emotion that went back to even my childhood. And Deepak's been amazing to help me recognize that. And how do you come back to that place of gratitude or joy or authenticity or whatever your word is? So maybe pick a word or two that resonates with you as well, and put an alarm on your phone, and throughout the day, just check in. Because Louise Hay said in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, thoughts are things and things can be changed. I had to call Bhakti yesterday for an SOS. I'm like, dude, I need some support right now, right? And so we meditated. And you know, my mom's birthday would have been yesterday. She was 81. She passed in April. You know, so there's all these things that are moving through in and around us, and how do we come back and shift those thoughts? And Louise Hay's book is a great book to check out. I think I have one more thing on that slide. So yeah, and of course, Napoleon Hill. You've hopefully all read the book. The thing is, I find people read it, but do they apply it? You know, talking about Think and Grow Rich. And again, it's not about the money. It's not about always closing a sale, all of those things. It's much, much, much deeper than that. And it's about your mindset and taking action every day and creating the life that you want to create. Next slide. So part of that, and part of the daily on my clipboard, and part of my daily compass, paid members have access to that document. So setting and writing your goals daily to the best of your ability. Do I do it every day? No, I'd be lying if I told you that. Most days. And I find I win the day, and then I win the week, and then I win the month when I'm very smart. Specific is the S. You want to write this down? No, I know I make them do the work. So you got to write down the acronym. SMART stands for specific. You know, I had a goal this year of starting a podcast. Very specific, okay, and I did it. I had a measurable goal. That's the M, specific and measurable. I didn't just want to start a podcast. I wanted to launch it, and I wanted to get it into the top 200 of the entrepreneurship and business category. And guess what? Because I wrote it down every day, I had a goal, and of course I had a coach. I actually got in the top 10 globally and top 20 in the US and Canada. A, is it attainable? And again, you're writing these down every day. It's part of that exercise of reinforcing it into your very being. And that's what Think and Grow Rich actually talks about as well. So I'm just reinforcing that book. A, is it attainable? Was it really attainable for me to launch that podcast? Yes, especially since I hired a coach and had support. R stands for risky. I call it realistic risky. You know, don't make it so crazy that you're just going to self-sabotage and say, I can't do it. It's just too hard. But you still want to stretch yourself, get yourself outside of your comfort zone and be able to grow, because once your mind expands, it never can go back. And that's what we're trying to help you guys do through these coaching sessions, is to expand your mind so that you can catapult forward in your personal professional life. So I had a little bit of a risky, I made sure I really put it out there. I took risks, I made bold moves, I made, you know, I vocalized my goals. I didn't just want to get in the top 200, I actually wanted to get in the top 20. And because I put it out there, because I took that risk, I basically held my feet to the fire. My coach did too, and I went after it. If I would have just said, I want to launch a podcast and be in the top 200, I might not have pushed as far and went as far as I've gone. And then the timeline was the timeline. So what is your deadline? And getting those goals and writing them out every day and speaking it, or writing it, or having a vision board, any combination thereof. In Think and Grow Rich, they actually talk about writing it and speaking it and all of that kind of stuff. And I live that life. I know Deepak does too. And we want to guide you through that. Next slide. So ask yourself, and this is for everyone, even if you're a paid member, asking yourself, do I need help in setting those SMART goals that are customized to you? As part of this program, if you become a paid member, you get a coaching session with both Deepak and a coaching session with myself. Next slide. Really quickly, part of our passion is building relationships, right? And in this new normal of digital world, and you can't meet face to face, belly to belly, or maybe you can. Maybe your country it's a little bit looser, but here in America, we're still in essence in quarantine mode. So it's easy for a lot of people, and you may have seen this where people are like, buy my stuff, join my team, sending you messages for all these things, and I've done it too, right? Sometimes we lose sight of how important it is to listen first and form the relationship. So FORM is an acronym that I learned 20 years ago from my first coach and mentor in real estate, and I've never forgotten it. And actually, I didn't realize how many people in sales never learned that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to share this with people. So go ahead. The F stands for family. These are questions that you're going to ask someone. Even if you already know them, it's always good to say, how is your family? You're making it more about them as opposed to, hey, remember that proposal I gave you? Are you ready to sign up for it? Right? So being able to ask about their family shows that you care. O is occupation. How is their work impacted right now because of COVID especially? You might want to know that before you have that consultation or whatever's going on. If they're out of work, or if they just started a new job, they have a lot going on. The kids are at home 24/7, they're homeschooling on top of that. That's a lot of stress. So you want to be conscious and caring. R is recreation. Sometimes that's not always the easiest thing to slip in, but it's more of like, hey, what did you do this weekend? Or what are you doing this coming weekend? Just really connecting at a deeper level about their interests. There's a phrase, I'm sure y'all heard it. I'll just remind you of it. It's better to be interested versus interesting. There's a lot of salespeople, entrepreneurs that are all like, hey, this is me, this is, bragging and vomiting about their company or their product. And to be honest with you, they probably don't give a crap, right? They want to talk about themselves. So asking them about what they did for the weekend or what they're going to do this weekend, again, is much more interesting to them. And it'll help you in the process of forming and molding that relationship much faster. And then, of course, M, there's an alternate letter to M I'll explain in a second, but I like the word form relationship. It just makes sense. M is mission, message. The other letter is D for dream, forward or form. What is their goal in life, really? Why are they here? And why do you care about that? Well, again, as Deepak was talking about Ikigai, we're really here to serve and learn from one another. And when you go from that place of heart-centered curiosity and helping them, Zig Ziglar said it best, you'll get everything in life if you want, if you help enough other people get what they want, right? So if you know their mission, their message, and you give them a referral that maybe is attached to that, you'll never, ever lose them as a friend. I've referred over 50 people into BNI, for example, and a lot of those people, I have some serious social karma. I can call them up and say, hey, I need your help. And they're like, drop everything. And it's because I gave without expecting anything in return. Connecting online and offline right now is it's not as easy to connect offline depending on your situation. But what I mean by offline is Zoom. So if you meet someone on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, I did it last week. I'm connecting with people on Facebook and LinkedIn all the time. A total stranger became my customer in less than a week because we connected using these principles. So you get them off of private messenger, off of text, off of WhatsApp if you can, and connect like this, since you maybe can't do it face to face. And then how many connections? Again, remember SMART goals. I'm a numbers gal. If you don't know your numbers, you can't grow your numbers. If you're randomly connecting with people every day and you don't have intention, you don't have purpose, you're either leaving money on the table or you're going to be out of business at some point. So I always encourage people connect with 5 people a day. I call it my high 5, you know, just connecting with either, if you don't have time to connect with 5 new, at least connect with 5 in your database and say, hey, how are you? Use the form technique, and you could get referrals. They could finally say, you know what, Alice, I like you. I'm ready to work with you. Let's start today. You know, I've had that happen all the time just because I was coming from a place of curiosity and just checking in. And then we can teach you in our paid members class. I talk about scripts and go a bit deeper on how to get to that closing table of the sale. But this is where it starts. This is where it starts. Next slide. Yes, Alice. Yes. Oh, and just having a number. Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead. That was perfect. I pretty much was done with that slide. So the other thing, and I'm wrapping it up here, you want to be able to, if you haven't already, build your audience through learning in online school. Like Deepak with Speakology, brilliant. You know, how do you get found online? You know, everyone's online. Everyone's at home. Are you intentional about being found? Put a plan together now. And I'm really big on content creation that you create for today. It's there forever. So maybe it's a YouTube channel. Maybe it's a podcast. Maybe it's a blog. Maybe it's LinkedIn articles. You know, pick something and just go for it. Don't just dabble. Just go for it and get better at it one day at a time. And the next slide will show you a bunch of examples. These are all examples that I coach on. Also encouraging you to have a CRM. If you don't know what that is, that means you need one. It's a client relationship manager where you keep all your leads in your database. It can allow you to do email lists and email campaigns and all of the things that, quite honestly, I know Deepak and I have pivoted. A lot of my clients have learned that, oh my gosh, Facebook isn't my CRM, LinkedIn is not my CRM. I got to get people into my funnel. And one of the ways you can do that is have them subscribe to your YouTube channel, get them into your Facebook fan page. Maybe you're starting to do StreamYard or Zoom webinars, or you know, something a little bit more than Facebook Lives. Facebook Lives are great. We're technically on that right now. However, how are you then repurposing that content? Are you putting it into YouTube? Are you emailing it out to your list? Don't just do a Facebook Live for the sake of doing a Facebook Live. We'll coach you on all of this. Once you create it, it's there forever. Next slide. And last but certainly not least, because if you know me, I'm very, very anal about time management. Again, I'm looking at the clock because I have another call in 9 minutes. So it's all about how do you choose to spend your time. It's no different than your finances. You really want to be able to take care of yourself, you know, like Mary, Juice Plus, awesome. Yeah. Are you taking time to chew your food? You know, even it goes down to those little things that mean so much. Starting your day, the way Deepak talked about earlier, determines the rest of your day. Choosing the proper fuel, like Mary talked about, using the daily compass. I write down my day on paper before I hit the ground running so that I'm clear. I'm not all foggy and clogged up here and not knowing what the hell is going on in the next hour, right? So making sure if you can read the book, The 12-Week Year, it's one of the things that I love the most, is helping my clients shift and realize you actually have more time in the day than you realize. If you're smart and you use your time wisely, and it is about time blocking, but it's a lot deeper than that. So read The 12-Week Year. I'm actually interviewing, I have the author, New York Times bestseller, Brian Moran. Perfect timing, Deepak. That was like sweet. So Brian and I are doing a webinar the last Tuesday of the month. It's going to be 10 a.m. Pacific time, so it'll be late in India, but make the time if you can. He's going to teach these principles for an hour at the end of the month. And I am certified to teach that, and I do infuse that into our paid member classes. Next slide. So, in summary, having a guiding hand, you know, no one succeeds alone. I have 3 coaches. If I count Deepak, and we're more business partners. If I count Bhakti, I could say he's a coach. I have 4 coaches to keep my head on straight. So, and just to keep moving. You know, one of my passions is suicide awareness and mental health. This is Suicide Awareness Month. I've had 2 friends who have been impacted by suicide this month, and it's only September 17th. And I had one friend who I called, and he had just tried to kill himself. He was in a clinic, and something told me I needed to call him. So we know that people aren't always living their best life. And that's why I have to have 4 coaches. I've had suicidal thoughts and severe depression, and I wanted to be better, right? So we want to make sure people have the right help to guide them to be, again, mentally, physically, spiritually fit, which will make your finances and your relationships much, much richer. Next slide. Do you want to, okay. And then of course, part of why this is VGC, Virtual Global Coaching, is, are you wanting to connect with people from California? Are you wanting to connect with people from Minnesota? We have Vegas here. We have different parts of the world, India, Africa. We've had Europeans on this call as well. So if you want to connect at a deeper level and grow yourself, the paid membership could be a great option for you. Next slide. And as we already shared, you know, Deepak and I both have a good balance of experience. And here's Mary. Mary's testimonial. She was actually our spotlight speaker on the different events that we do. We have spotlight speakers, and Mary was the person when we did our speed networking. And she has shared, you know, how having a home-based business and how this particular program has helped. Next slide, I believe, is Kathy. Kathy had so much success. She's not even here right now, but she's a sales manager of a credit card merchant service system, and she found us before COVID, same as Mary, and thankfully, you know, helping everyone be and become recession proof is really key. And then of course, Sailesh, who's here as well, being able to have this community has impacted and improved his life and his beautiful family. And we're honored to have them here. And of course, Bhakti, who's my meditation guru, has, you know, transformed, coming out of corporations and corporate America, pivoting and having his own meditation business, and now building it globally, and having all the coaching support has really helped him as well. So last but not least, and I do have a hard stop in 4 minutes, Deepak, but I can make you host if it goes over. The goals that we provide, of course, increased income and productivity, positive relationships, global connections, and expansion. Next slide. So the second and fourth Thursdays, we do the paid sessions. If you notice, today's the 3rd Thursday. We actually do this for free. We do speed networking, but the 2 paid sessions plus the free coaching sessions with Deepak and myself, the email support, the private WhatsApp group, the private Facebook group. We do have additional speakers and opportunities that you guys will be a part of, and then we do record everything and share it through a private unlisted YouTube playlist. So we have an offer that is, it's actually September, but that's okay. Let me see here, $50 per month is the paid membership. That's $50 American. I forget what that is, how that translates to your own country's payment system. And then if someone wants to, they could do an annual membership, save a little bit. It's savings is what it's all about. And if you have a spouse or a business partner, so I think there was someone on here that had 2 people on the call, your actual better deal would be to do the $397, have it for a year, and then you could even split the cost if you wanted. And there you go. There's the translation for, I believe, India, right?
Yeah.
Anything else? If you guys are interested, contact whoever invited you. And sometimes it's easier to pay Deepak if you're on that side of the world, if you're in America. Either way, is there any questions or anything else that you want to add, Deepak, before I bounce in 2 minutes? Oh yeah, 30-day money-back guarantee. You know, if for any reason you've shown up for all of the sessions, that's definitely a requirement of getting a refund. But we definitely want to make sure that you get what you came for. There you go. Any questions, or Deepak, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, there's a question here.
Yes, Edwin.
Can I go on? Yeah, so yeah, it's been a really an amazing presentation and explanation. My question is, so generally, BGC, what can we say is the professional background? Is it strictly entrepreneurs, or it cuts across different professional backgrounds?
That's a good question. I would say it's wide open. We don't niche it, but what do you think, Deepak?
Absolutely, we don't niche it on that. So it's people looking for real good personal development. I think that's the only criteria. No, people looking for personal and business development in a different manner. That's a guarantee. Entrepreneur,
Okay, so we can say the network is not only limited to a specific group of professionals, but a broader group of professionals across the globe. Is that
yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Okay, Deepak, I apologize, guys. I do have to run, so thank you guys for being here today.
So we'll take a minute or two. So any questions, thoughts, takeaways? What you liked about it? Anybody? Edwin or Gopal or Neha?
No, sir, no question. Nice presentation I had, and I understood very nicely. So,
Cool.
no questions, sir. No doubts I have.
Wonderful. Okay, Edwin or others? Any thoughts?
Edwin or Rajesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I like the. Of course, I always love your ikigai concept. Of course, no doubt about that. I love Louis' concept of the high five connecting to new clients. At that point, she touched on. I think it's very, very essential, and I think that is one of my main takeaways. Basically.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Edwin. Anybody wants to add something before we wind up? Bhakti, you have something raring to say.
I just thought I'd thank everybody for being here. It's wonderful connecting always.
Awesome. Thank you so much, one and all, for joining in, and looking forward to see you on board soon. We like to keep it on time, and so that we are respectful of each person's time. Thank you. Have a great day ahead of you, or night and evening ahead of you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, I think.